arm fatigue thing isn't going away. It was reported, I forget who reported it a few weeks ago. People laughed at him. But now Cowherd and Mike Silver said they're hearing the same thing. No one explains what it means. But apparently Trey Lance gets arm fatigue. I guess he throws hard, his arm gets sore, tired, and Colin Cowherd even said he needs days off, which I've never seen. But I guess he's around the team a whole lot more than I am. What do you make of this very cryptic, weird report?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. What exactly does that mean? I
Right.
talked about it with Dak Prescott
Mm-hmm.
and how he had that at one point during training camp. He had to take a few days off. I believe it was last year. Then he opened up the season throwing 60 passes.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly it means, I don't know. And did it hold Trey Lance out of practice? You say you didn't see that happen. I'm curious to see if the team kind of says otherwise. I don't know, but I don't know exactly what it means or how it hinders him for an actual season.
I feel a little bad for Trey Lance because it seems like he's been put in this situation. He drafted to this excellent team, but there's high expectations, and you have to replace this winner. And it seems like there's nothing. He can't do anything right. He can't do anything well enough. If he throws a ball, people will be like, "Well, Spiral wasn't perfect." Like it's almost like people are inventing new things to hold against him, and that's just going to be life for him until he proves that he's a winner. Because Jimmy happens to be a winner. And in this organization, too, I think a lot of people, I still think it's a controversial move, the quarterback switch in the organization. And I think you have people who are all in with it, maybe the head coach, and people who are freaking skeptical that are sitting back like, his arm's sore. That wasn't even a spiral. It's like, I don't know what this kid has to prove before he gets the whole organization in his corner. I think he's probably going to have to win a lot, which is unreasonable.
I think that most people are typically skeptical of young quarterbacks, but we're definitely hearing it a lot more when it comes to this 49ers situation. I think mainly because of, Jimmy Garoppolo. Most teams give their young guys, the fan base, the media, time to show what they have, time to grow, time to see what areas that, they're able to improve in. Okay, this is where he's at. Can he take a year two leap? Trey Lance is one of the first guys that he's kind of written off. It's almost like a guilty until proven innocent type
Yes.
thing with
Yep.
Trey Lance,
Absolutely.
where he's guilty of everything that comes with being a high draft pick from a small school with little experience, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And until he goes out there and proves people wrong, it's like he just can't do any right. And that's kind of a lot of how it's been covered really since they drafted him.
And what's crazy is it's always these people that aren't at practice, that aren't around the team, that know the most about him. Like I was just there watching OTAs and minicamp. These two guys, Colin Cowherd and Mike Silver, were too busy to come to Santa Clara, but they heard that his arm gets sore. I was there. He tore the Niners defense apart. Now, Bosa didn't play. Fred Warner didn't play, but neither did Debo and Kittle. And what was presented in front of him, he tore it apart. He was great. And you ask anyone on the team, D'Amico Ryans, Trent Williams, they're all like, yeah, man, he's really accurate. He's way better. He's taking control of the team. But again, people who aren't in the building have these sources that hear something about his arm is sore. To me, again, I don't really care about the arm fatigue. I've never seen it actually hinder him or manifest itself. If it does in the future, I'll watch for it. But to me, the big takeaway here is there's someone leaking information. I mean, I assume this is coming from the organization. Maybe it's coming from Jimmy Garoppolo's agent. I have no idea, but it feels like someone's leaking information. A big thing with this regime was that they don't leak. Well, what the hell is this? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely leaks in the building. They got to figure that out. Kyle Shanahan, those guys talked about when they were even bringing on John Lynch, and John Lynch wanted to wait and see, like, can we get through this process without any information being leaked? Nothing got leaked. As of late, though, it seems like there's been all kind of leaks about this situation with this quarterback, and we've heard it from whether it's different sources, different people. I've heard different things from different people, and there are a lot of leaks going on right now, as it pertains to the young guy. And I almost feel bad because, like, he probably just wants to play. Let me just go out there, let me play. Let me see where I need to improve. Let me improve on those things. Let me work hard. And instead, it's every time you turn on the TV, when people talk about this situation, it's almost tearing down a young quarterback before he even truly gets the chance to prove himself. Now, luckily for the 49ers, they have Trey Lance, who Kyle Shanahan has talked about, like, this kid doesn't care about what you're saying in the media.
Mhm.
He came out and said it. I don't care about what y'all are saying. I'm going to go out there, do me, work hard. I think Kyle Shanahan probably really likes that about him.
Yes. At the same time, Kyle is naturally conservative and hesitant. And the fact that he won't do what Andy Reid did for Mahomes, just take that leap of faith and say, he's my guy. He's good. He's ready. I'm getting rid of my previous quarterback now. And since he won't do that, he opens up the speculation. Well, what's the real reason that Kyle Shanahan? The real reason is that Kyle Shanahan is scared. He doesn't know what's going to happen. And I don't think he wants to take that gamble. He just wants to be able to have a safety net. I think that's what's happening. I could be wrong. He's not as naturally aggressive as Andy Reid. Maybe I'm wrong. But in protecting himself and the team in his eyes, he's opening up all the speculation. Oh, they don't really like Trey Lance. It's something about Trey Lance. No, it's something about Kyle. It's Kyle's nature. That's the way I look at it.
Well, and I know we're getting to RG3's comments, but there's a lot to be said about what he was saying about the conservativeness of the Shanahans, and he kind of lumped in Mike Shanahan in that as well. Yeah. But I said it on the Spaces. If you have a plan B, you're not all in on plan A, and if you're not all in on plan A, then plan A is just not going to work, or at least not to the extent of what you want. I have this podcast where I talk about entrepreneurship sometimes, and this guy was like, well, talk about the high percentage of people that don't make money off of it. And it's like, well, it's hard to do that because I don't know who's all in on it. Did they just say, okay, I'm going to do this for a year, and if it doesn't work, okay, I'm just going to scrap it, and I never made money? Or did they say, you know what, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and I'm going to see where it goes, and I'm going to really give this thing a shot, and I'm going to really go all in on it. And a lot of times, that's when you see the results. So Kyle Shanahan is banking on seeing this immediate success with Trey Lance. And unless I 100% feel like I'm going to get that immediate success, well, I'm not going to do it. If that's the mindset, then he's going about this all wrong. And you'll never see Trey Lance reach kind of maybe the peak that he potentially can. So I think there's a big issue with that, the conservative mindset of Kyle Shanahan.
And, the Shanahans, Mike and Kyle, neither one has ever really developed a young quarterback from the ground up. And I think maybe some of that has to do with how conservative they are, how demanding they are, and maybe how reluctant they are to show confidence in the guy. It seems like Andy Reid empowered Donovan McNabb from day one and did the same. I mean, not day one for Mahomes, but when it was time, and Kyle's a little more hesitant. We'll see.